Fond of the British way of life, still indeed has a home near Southampton and will certainly know what to expect from Celtic tonight. Billy McNeill makes an interesting choice, preferring Andy Walker to Tommy Coyne and finding room for Joe Miller. John Hewitt is still unfit, and a stomach complaint has put Chris Morris out of the team and has meant a bit of a reorganisation in the defence. There's Joe Miller, said to be unhappy, but now given his chance after being pulled off, having been brought on as a substitute in the semi-final of the Skull Cup when Celtic lost to Aberdeen. Partizan, wearing the black and white stripes, are able to recall Stan Nojkovic at right back. He missed the first leg, although played against Scotland at Hampden, and his fellow fullback Spasic played against Scotland in the Yugoslavian victory in Zagreb. And up front, Skepkovic, who missed the first leg, is included, and the promise from the Yugoslavs is that they are not going to sit back on their one-goal lead. The referee comes from East Germany. He's Klaus Peschel. So Celtic in the hoops against Partizan in the stripes. Not too often you see that, but they've had, in fact, the Yugoslavs to borrow a strip from Celtic. Paul Elliott made his debut against Motherwell, and I suppose might be the beneficiary of Chris Morris's stomach problem. Dziekanowski back in defence again. They're going to get men back, but they've still left two up, Partizan. So the warning is there for Celtic. If the Yugoslavs get possession, didn't quite work. Here's Dziekanowski. Got a good turn of pace, and he's got Mijalovic on the right side. They're appealing for offside, but it certainly wasn't. And Bonner has to do well, but what a very good break. Skepkovic was the man denied at the end, but if you are prepared to gamble and leave two players up, you do have an opportunity of breaking away. They thought that Mijalovic was offside, but he certainly was not, and Bonner did well. It's a golden opportunity for the away goal, which is in Celtic's favour at the moment, to be nullified. And that didn't matter for very long, because the man came up from the back. Vujicic has given Partizan Belgrade the lead in the away leg and a 3-1 advantage on the tie altogether. Away goals are now no longer going to be a factor. After 8 minutes, Partizan have the lead, and one has to say it's been given them by a very progressive, positive approach to the away leg. Quickly on from Galloway. Dziekanowski. Oh, it was well struck. McStay. Not so well struck. Peter Grant. Good reply here by Celtic. Oh, that was superbly well struck by Mike Galloway. He had 3 bites then. The first was good, the second was mushy, and the third was as good as the first. Pandurovic, who had to come in very early to the first leg, at least Petric now to take the clearance. Dziekanowski, who chased after it. Brother was an international defender, Bosco. And, nicely done, McStay. Miller. Oh, well played. Good way to cross, good header. And more than a little unlucky. Andy Walker gets to his feet in disappointment. That's the best of Joe Miller, totally unbalanced the fullback. Got in a good cross, it was a good header, beat the goalkeeper's reach, but too high for the crossbar. Galloway coming back, the ball was out of play. Dziekanowski, the skipper. Derek White, playing really as the spare man at the back with Aitken at full-back and making good use of the space he's been given here, and that's a free kick. Goran Petric is shown the yellow card for the second time in this tie and will not now play in the next round should the Yugoslavs get through, but that will be of academic interest to anybody around Parkhead, because they don't wish that he should be in the next round anyway. 5 players were booked in the first leg, and now the first player to be booked in the second. McStay looking for Elliott, found him, and a good flick on, and Dziekanowski gets the goal. The Pole scores against the Yugoslavs, and the Scots go mad. 26 minutes, the equaliser. Lovely free kick. Good header. Twice. Look at the flight of the ball. Elliott getting up, well in front of Spasic. And Dziekanowski got ahead of his man too. And it's 1-1 in the second leg. 3-2 on aggregate. Elliott pounding it down. Looks a goodbye. Walker gets the opportunity because 2 Yugoslavs really got in each other's way. Milanic and Petric. Aitken. Referee says no. I think in part because Celtic had possession and the threat seemed to be great. But it was certainly a body check. Aitken. Giving him a lot of freedom down that right side. Just too strong, really. Walker was the better place rather than Miller, who made some sort of contact. Elliott. Bogdanovic. Djordjevic. Milojevic. Spasic. They've got 5 up in total. This is Bogdanovic. Slightly miscontrolled that, but it helped him. And they've left... Oh, and Dziekanowski! The goal was open. They left the man completely unmarked, but the captain couldn't take advantage. But another very, very good attack by Partizan. That was the moment he lost control, but it made space for him. And there was Dziekanowski, spooned it over with the side of his foot. Free kick is given. Vladimir Vujicic acknowledges the error, which is pretty small consolation to the Pole. And they go off looking for each other again. Oh, that's well done. Duncan Rogan find the right sort of cross. Grant. Spasic. Galloway, the whistle's gone. But further reason for optimism. Good cross. Grant with the shot, which he somewhat improvised. Then I think Spasic was pushed before Galloway's shot went over the top. Looking for Bogdanovic, number 11. Dziekanowski. He certainly had the best chance to prick the Celtic balloon, which had had to blow itself up again after the early loss of air here at Parkhead, when Partizan scored so early in the match. Petric. Dziekanowski. Forward, only to Elliott. We're into the last minute of the first half. Offside. Just that stop in the run by Aitken brought the offside decision against Galloway. Brogan. Comfortable cover by the fullback. Brogan again. Forced to make the cross earlier than he wanted to, I suspect. Nobody there. Aitken's last foray forward, perhaps. In this half, at least. He wants the return, which wasn't a good one, but he made it his. And the half comes to an end, and a half with no little excitement. Credit to Partizan for an attacking approach, which suggested that after only 8 minutes they'd killed the tie stone dead by scoring an away goal. But considerable credit to Celtic for coming back and getting the equaliser through Dziekanowski in the 26th minute. And this is a tie very much still on the boil. Well, the evidence of the first half. I think most people here at Parkhead would imagine that we haven't seen the last of the goals. And most will believe that when the next comes, it'll be a Celtic strike. It's been an open contest where defences have looked a little bit short at times. Bogdanovic trying to find Dziekanowski. Petric, a little bit lucky that that fell as it did. Vujacic. Stay. Wonder whether Partizan will deny Aitken the room in the second period that he was given in the first. Derek White forward very early. Walker. Grant. It's gone loose and it's gone in. The pole has done it again. A goalkeeping error, but that is of no concern to the crowd. Grant tried the subtle touch. It was a flick shot really, but the goalkeeper lost it, and Dziekanowski makes the tie 3-3 after only 90 seconds of the second half. His second goal of the match. Cut out by White. Wasn't the best pass he's made, but he was instrumental in that attack, Derek White. And has had a good match. Petric obviously likes to get forwards. They've got a man over here. A little bit intricate, unnecessarily so. No foul, says the referee, and he was the best placed on the ground to see. Joe Miller, who was dispossessed. Brogan, who won from the follow-up. McStay. Rather telegraphed, that one. Spasic. Galloway back with him for an excellent tackle. Aitken. Nice touch from Grant. Oh, there are some marvellous atmospheres at football grounds north of the border. This one certainly takes a deal of beating. Petric. Pandurovic. Not much first-team experience, only came on early in the first leg because of an injury to Omerovic. Walker. McStay. Dziekanowski. Setting up the chance, which is taken. And no wonder there's a cartwheel from Djordjevic. A sudden breakaway. The noise is suddenly cut off. A place in celebration has suddenly become awake. But Djordjevic is very happy he didn't make a mess of it. His captain supplying him with a chance. A captain who missed a similar sort of opportunity, not quite as easy in the first half. Djordjevic scoring means that Celtic had to start all over again. And of course they now have the away goal advantage of 2 away goals as opposed to Celtic's 1 away goal. So if it ends up at 4-4, that's not enough. Celtic have got to score twice. Well taken. 4-4 would not take us into extra time. It would mean there would be the victory. Vujacic. Dziekanowski waiting in the middle. So is Galloway. Trying to get through the crowd, but the goalkeeper very confidently coming for it. And Partizan obviously felt there was a knock into the goalkeeper, and they're protesting to Galloway. And the referee having to try to calm things down as the goalkeeper makes rather a lot of it, I feel. Well, strictly speaking, unless the referee saw a foul here, he's going to have to give a drop ball at the end of all this. And that could put Partizan in some trouble. That was just a half a touch, but nothing untoward, but he landed pretty heavily on his left side. And the yellow card is shown to Galloway. It's his second yellow card in this opening round of the Cup Winners' Cup. So if Celtic come through, he will not play in the next round. Well, this is all a little bit silly, and the goalkeeper is booked for time wasting. He was concerned that the Celtic player was too close to him. And Petric is giving him what for? A 20-year-old is giving a right rollicking to a 26-year-old. We still have the original free kick, and Petric, who's showing maturity beyond his years, says, let me get on with it. Feet were a bit high then, and the free kick is against McStay. Dziekanowski. Rogan. Dziekanowski. Free kick. To say that Dziekanowski against Wojciech has been a physical contest is something of an understatement. Elliott is up on the near side as we look, number 5. Dziekanowski going for the one on the near post. Galloway, Elliott, didn't fall too kindly. Galloway goes back inside, tries to set up Aitken and has done so. And here's the chance! Oh, and what a rifling shot by Dziekanowski. He's got a hat-trick. And this tide twists first one way and then the other. Good play by Galloway. Set up Aitken. What about this for a piece of finishing as the ball went loose? Right foot, bang. 56 minutes gone. We're back to 4-all. What a good strike, beating the goalkeeper's left hand. Well, they like him so much here that they have their special T-shirts that everybody wears, and on them is written simply Jackie. And you can see why on this performance. Aitken. Well, he's an unlikely-looking winger, it has to be said. But he's one of the most determined players you could find. Gives his all, and then a bit more. Stay with the free kick. Miller comes across. Spasic again. That rather balding pate is not used to terribly good purpose. Galloway. And again, it wasn't put out when it should have been, and they get the corner. Dziekanowski is on the line, so is Walker, and the goalkeeper takes it almost with comfort, not quite. Milojevic through the middle, and the offside trap is beaten. Dziekanowski scores! And Pat Bonner turns and looks at his defence, particularly at the captain, Roy Aitken, and says, where were you? And Dziekanowski does what he had the opportunity of doing in the first half and goes for embraces with his coach and anybody else he can find on the bench. But again, it was the break. Aitken, it seems to me, didn't get the challenge in, and Dziekanowski wasn't marked at all. Took his time, but how well he thumped it home. But basically, Celtic's thoughts were still very much on searching for another goal, and they left themselves without real cover. So it's now 3-3 on the night in this match. Not on aggregate. Suspicious of like handball. Taken by Grant, taken by Dziekanowski. Good save. 3-3 on the night. 5-4 on aggregate to Partizan Belgrade. And Dziekanowski has got a hat-trick, but at the moment he's on the losing side. Would you believe it? It's a good save, the best save that Pandurovic has made. And we're back to the position where Celtic need 2 goals. An equaliser wouldn't be enough because of the mounting number of away goals that the Yugoslavs have. And a substitution is going to be made. Bogdanovic has gone off, and this fellow with the long hair, Djurdjevic, has come on. That's a brave attempt by Galloway, and a little theatrical by the goalkeeper. Peter Grant, back comes Celtic again. Good cross, well held. Oh, but he does like to throw himself around. He's known the depths and now he's finding the heights, this goalkeeper. And it looks as though the new fellow, Djurdjevic, is going to be on his own up front. Brought 2 further back. Free kick has been given, though, for the other challenge. McStay carries on with it. So does Aitken. He allowed the man to come inside him. I think that's what Pat Bonner was complaining about. That's not the best of challenges either. And the pole and his marker, Vorjicic, have been together all the flipping time. He's away this time, the pole, and it's gone in for Walker! This is unbelievable stuff! This is quite one of the most incredible European ties I've ever seen. It's mind-boggling. You need a calculator to keep check of the score and a pacemaker to make sure you're all right. Walker is the scorer, and we're now at 4-3 to Celtic on the night and 5-all on aggregate, and we've had 65 minutes of an unreal match. It's Djurdjevic as opposed to Djordjevic, and here's Spasic, and he's given offside. And I tell you, that was enormously tight. Spasic doesn't know that he was given offside. Well, the linesman was up with the play, but the flag was late, and the decision was very tight. I think he thought a bit about that one. Celtic so nearly caught once more. And their determination to get another one. They've got to be more aware about the ability of this Partizan side to break. Question is, how would you tell them? Oh, that was a fair trap. Got off the bench, I think it was Tommy Craig, and played it straight back into play. Petric denying McStay. Rogan, Elliott, Bonner in the Partizan half. Aitken's cross, not well cleared. Dziekanowski trying the chip, and they're appealing for the push. Walker gets up and appeals, Miller gets up and hopes, nothing given. "18 minutes of the match remaining. 5-5 on aggregate. Dziekanowski to nobody in particular. Here's Djurdjevic. Milojevic trying to find Spasic. He gets the booze because of something earlier. Milojevic again. Djurdjevic. Bit of a dive in. But even so, they kept 3 players back. The flag goes up for offside against Dziekanowski. Again, a very tight one. But perhaps the most significant thing about that was that Partizan kept 3 people back. It's a lesson there for Celtic. Grant. Good play, nice control. Vujicic again, and Dziekanowski is offside. Aitken. Galloway, away from Petric. Oh, he does well. The defender did very well. Lajovic. Dziekanowski. He's a constant threat when he's the front player. One of 2 front players usually. He was on his own that time. Galloway. Oh, they've all stood off him. McStay. Oh, didn't he do well to get himself balanced for any sort of shot? Struck it very well. Wasn't quite expecting the ball where it came to him. But he got there. Couldn't keep it down. And we're in to the last 15 minutes of a memorable contest. And Celtic still need another goal. Dziekanowski. McStay. Well played. Beautiful ball. And blocked by Spasic. And here's another very good buy that Billy McNeil's made. Derek White has come forward for the corner. Aitken stays back. They've let 3 men back this time. And Elliott comes in on it, beaten to it by Petric. Rogan. Wasted. Came off worse, and I think it was his own fault. And they've got a problem now. They're about to make a substitution, Partizan, but they've got 2 players who are injured. And certainly Milanic was his own worst enemy with a pretty poor challenge, to put it mildly. But Partizan wanting to bring on Bajovic, who is the defender. And the referee is saying, you wait. No, he's not. He's making long-distance signs. And finally, Alex Djordjevic goes off, leaves Djordjevic on. And Bajovic is the second substitute to be used. There's Tommy Craig on his feet. Finally, an extra defender comes into the fray with about 10 minutes left. Petric looking to set up an attack immediately. This is Galloway. Oh, and it's got a touch in, and it's the pole again! It's the pole again! Dziekanowski, 4 goals in the match. It's the stuff of dreams for Celtic. But the thing is, the dream has so often been interrupted by a nightmare. But is it all going to end right for them? Dziekanowski got the touch as three defenders there stood watching. In the end, Partizan have been let down by the defence. Celtic have taken full advantage of it, and no one more so than Dziekanowski. Surely now, Celtic must batten down the hatches. It's 5-3 on the night. It's 6-5 to the Scottish team on aggregate. Offside against Dziekanowski. Free kick will be taken. And the position now with 8 minutes left. If the Yugoslavs could manage another and dampen the ardour again, as they have on 3 occasions, that would be good enough because of the away goals once more. Celtic, for the first time, have real advantage. Six minutes left. Aitken. There's no need for Celtic to make the pace in any way. Dziekanowski is down the middle, waiting and hoping. It's well turned back. Partizan now have 2.5 up. It's now 3 up. The ball given away. Celtic won't complain about that. Five minutes left. Just a little heart flutter from the back pass. And the crowd singing "We shall not be moved" rarely has that much-used expression had a truer ring. Because 3 times Celtic seem to have been moved right out of this Winners' Cup competition. And every time they've come back. Djurdjevic started the challenge. Dziekanowski out by Elliott. McStay. That had got through. Walker was away. McStay. Miller chasing. Walker inside. It's 3 up against 1. Good save. Credit to Djurdjevic. Everybody else, he's had his ups and downs. Miller could have put the crowd out of any sort of misery. And the flag is up for offside. Into the last 3 minutes. Aggregate score is 6-5. Score on the night is 5-3. In both cases in favour of Celtic. A bit of virtuoso from Peter Grant. Interesting to watch the movement in the stand. People kept getting up and then sitting down again, and they've been doing it all night. Well, there's one chap there who's confident as he runs up the steps. Well, I say we learn nothing from history. The history of this match surely suggests that we should still expect the unexpected. Referee added on no stoppage time at all at the end of the first half, when surely he should have done. We make it 2 minutes remaining now of the match. Offside. Well, he better be careful, he might get himself booked, the pole. He'll claim he didn't hear the whistle. Well, he's got a few points to make. I'm a Pole, the referee's a German, I don't understand English, and Scottish is even more difficult for me. So I think the excuses will be on his side. Spasic. Dziekanowski, and it's in! It's in! Shevkovic has scored right at the end. Little more than a minute remaining. It is unbelievable. You can feel how the crowd is stunned. It was Spasic's cross, the captain who set it up, Dziekanowski, and Shevkovic in the middle was not marked and got in the free header. It was a truly hit cross, but it was the man at the far post who really did it so well with the control with the side foot that set up the header. Bonner couldn't keep it out. It's 5-4 to Celtic, but more importantly, it's 6-6 on aggregate, and the away goals rule could still decide this tie. Spasic, who early in the match was lucky to remain on the field, in the end may have provided the decisive cross. The whole atmosphere has changed yet again. And there will be a quiz question in years to come. Which man scored 4 goals in a match and lost? And it'll be little consolation for Dariusz Dziekanowski that he's joined a famous player called... No, his Puskás actually only scored a hat-trick, I think, in the European Cup final, finished on the losing side. He scored 4, Dziekanowski here. The first round of the Cup Winners' Cup. And unless Celtic can find a goal from somewhere, he will finish on the losing side. Four men. Said it earlier. We're always going to have sympathy for the side that ends up the losers here, whoever it was. And the referee brings it to an end. And the final whistle was greeted initially by total silence and then generous applause. And Ivan Golac has gone away with the victory. But it's 90 minutes that he and his side will remember for many a long day. There will be tears in both dressing rooms. And poor Celtic, so often they seem to have come back. And the match in the closing stages seems certainly to be theirs, but it was not to be.
Quite astonishing stuff. Apart from the finish, I could sit through that again. Contrasting reactions from the two camps, as you can imagine. Billy McNeill, the Celtic manager, said to score 6 goals in a tie and not win is beyond belief. Every time we climb the mountain, we throw ourselves off it. And Ivan Golac, Partizan's new manager, he said once again it proves it's a funny game, football, but I think we deserved to go through. Well, by contrast with that, in the European Cup, Rangers also made their exit tonight, but in rather disappointing fashion, trying to claw back a 3-1 deficit against the might of Bayern Munich in West Germany. They were held to a goalless draw and went out of the competition. John Motson reports.
It might have been a different story for Rangers if Terry Butcher had been more selfish from young Tom Cowan's cross in only the 2nd minute of tonight's second leg. Rather than going for goal, he tried to find Mo Johnston, who was given offside. Graham Souness knew that Rangers' task of chasing 3 goals without the suspended Ali McCoist was always going to be difficult, but an early goal there might have given them hope. In the second half, Rangers continued to carry the game to a restrained Bayern side, and from Trevor Stevens' cross, Mo Johnston just couldn't stretch far enough. Still 0-0, Bayern still in charge. A few minutes later, Stephen himself got on the end of a Ray Wilkins cross, but goalkeeper Raymond Aumann had a comfortable save. The Rangers fans were frustrated by Bayern's negative attitude. They just seemed happy to protect their 3-1 lead from the first leg. It was finally substitute Manfred Schwabel who brought a save out of Rangers' reserve goalkeeper Bonnie Ginsberg, deputising for Chris Woods. Rangers had brought on Kevin Drinkle for Cowan in the second half, and 10 minutes from time it was his challenge that helped set up Rangers' cleanest chance of the night for Mo Johnston. But Aumann spread himself well. Johnston gave his all in both legs of this tie, but had little reward for his efforts. A breakaway at the other end saw Bayern substitute Roland Wolfart go for glory when Alan McInally would have appreciated a cross. But McInally was the only happy Scotsman in Munich's Olympic Stadium tonight. A final score of Bayern Munich 0, Glasgow Rangers 0 meant that Bayern go through on the 3-1 aggregate victory. But they were whistled off the pitch by their own supporters at the end. They clearly felt the match was a non-event.
Let's get some better news for Scotland now as we round up other soccer action, including last night's excellent UEFA Cup performance from Hibernian. Tony Gubba starts, though, with World Cup action in South America. Brazil and the holders Argentina are assured of their places. Last Sunday, Uruguay could join them from the South American Group 1 if they could beat Peru.
Are regarded as the bad boys of world football, but it was opponents Peru who had a player sent off. Midfielder Juan Reynoso for a right cross of which Bruno would have been proud. Uruguay had to win to qualify, and this terrific through ball right on the stroke of half-time enabled Ruben Sousa to score the first of 2 goals that embarrassed Peru's keeper Jesus Purizaga. Sousa is based in Europe with Lazio, and 12 minutes into the second half made certain of remaining in Italy for next summer's World Cup with a second goal underneath the keeper's dive. The 55,000 crowd in Montevideo knew that Uruguay had now Ecuador's surprise win over...
All experienced and some unpronounceable. The referee tonight is Henning Lund Sorensen. He comes like the 2 linesmen from Denmark. A noisy crowd on a special night in South Wales. So Swansea in white get this special night underway. 3-2 down after the first leg in Athens. It means a 1-0 or a 2-1 win here for the Welsh side tonight puts them into the next round. Swansea rightly believe they've got a great chance here at the Vetch. It's certainly going to be a night for stirring deeds. Conceded 6 against Reading on Saturday, which was their worst defeat in 4 years, and their worst one here in Swansea for 24. And needless to say, they need to put that thoroughly behind them now. They've got this free kick, and Kalantzis throwing the ball away. And firecrackers going up in the stands amongst the, as you can see in the far end there, amongst the Greek supporters. Tommy Hutchison with this free kick for Swansea. Big men up from the back. Andrew Melville's up there. Terry Boyle's in there. Hutchison's free kick floated there towards the goalkeeper. And Abdiotakis, one of the few uncapped players in this Panathinaikos side, makes the collection. Hutchison away again. The Greeks just couldn't believe that a player of 42 could be playing in this level of competition. But Tommy has defied them, defied a lot of people over the years. And is looking for a real night of glory here. Now, watch this long throw of Andrew Leggs. Probably the longest throw in the Football League, and it might just surprise the Greeks. That's a massive throw there. And a shot on the turn by Salako. And Melville, a word with Begg, but you can see just what a long throw it was, with a slightly different trajectory that can wrong-foot a defence. Bracey a long way out of his goal. Hutchison to Huff, towards the goalkeeper. Oh, that looked like a shove, a penalty! It was a shove on Reina. The Greeks protesting around the Danish referee. They're infuriated by it, but I have to say, from the position I am in here, that looked a sure push on Reina, the number 11. Let's have a look again. It looked to be a shove on the back of Paul Reina. Down he went. The referee had no hesitation, pointed to the spot. Now, who's going to take it? Bobby James is the man who normally does. Just back after injury. 32 years old, Swansea born. Played over 400 games for Swansea before he moved on to Stoke, Queen's Park Rangers, Leicester, and then came back. But never maybe a more important moment than this. It's a goal! And now we shall see what happens. Bobby James scores from the penalty spot. Suddenly Wales are swinging and singing, and the Greeks wonder how they'll react to that. A perfect penalty. The crowd applaud it, and Swansea are ahead. Goalkeeper going quite the wrong way. Robbie James's nerve held. Now will the Swansea defence hold? Kolev. That's a good shot, but it's too high. Got himself into a good scoring position and got it onto his less favoured right foot. I thought at first he'd struck it well, but it was always just flying over the Swansea goal. There's Coleman again, the long ball forward. Reina's after this one, the one who forced the penalty out of Panathinaikos. And now it's got a corner out of them. Their first of the night. Tommy Hutchison will take it. Oh, it'll be... Chris Coleman's going across there. No, it's not a corner, it's a throw. Hutchison. Oh, across the face of that goal. That was nearly storybook time for 42-year-old Tom. Took the throw well, shook off his defender, hit it first time. So an important 45 minutes gets underway. And Swansea hold this lead and take their place in the next round of the Cup Winners' Cup. There's no doubt about it, a second goal would be so important for them, just give them that little bit of cushion. It would mean then the Greeks would have to get two to qualify. As it is at the moment, one goal by Panathinaikos would still be enough to put the Greeks through into the next round, having won the first leg 3-2. There's that long throw again, and it was Phillips in there, Reina in there. A vital one at the start of this second half. Now the Greeks need to get two. Now what Swansea have to do is to consolidate and do nothing that's silly or sloppy like that of Tom Hutchinson, of all people. Challenge? No, it wasn't a good challenge. It was a foul by Coleman and a free kick for Panathinaikos, and they'll be desperate to bounce back into this game. What an amazing situation of teams struggling at the bottom of the third division, now leading 2-0 here. And the bit of a save from Dimopoulos by Lee Bracey. Here's Pollack. It should be easy for Boyle to get away. It's the throw to Swansea. There's that long throw again. Massive throw by Andrew Legg. Mavridis. Kalantzis. This is Kolev. Here's Robbie James. I think eventually get it back to goalkeeper Avdiotakis. Kolev. Dimopoulos is trying to get in behind Melville, but Melville judged that well. And Mike Dimopoulos. The goal given. Swansea looking around, thought for a moment there should have been a whistle earlier, but suddenly they're caught absolutely back on their heels, and Dimopoulos has given the Greeks more than a little hope. I think Swansea felt that there may have been a handball there. They were appealing, and Dimopoulos came off his man. Bracey could stop it but couldn't hold it, and it was a formality then for the number 9. Antonio. Melville again. Solarco. Playing well there with Doria, but Doria couldn't quite keep it in play. It'll be a throw to Panathinaikos. John Solarco. Doria. Just 25 minutes are left now. Rayner after this one. Played in there towards Phillips. Looked to get a little back header in. It would have been good for Swansea if he had, because Hutchison was just behind him. Doria again. No, it's too tight in there. Kolev challenged and beaten by Robbie James. The Bulgarians after him again. And Swansea go on as the flag stays down, with Solarco trying to get the ball in for Phillips and forcing a corner out of Mavridis, and more pressure on the Greeks. Tommy Hutchison will take it. Andrew Melville's up there. Terry Boyle has gone in there too. They've left just Robbie James and David Huff at the back, as Hutchison now takes this corner for Swansea. Coleman's header. Played in again. Melville! It's another one! Swansea have scored again! The big defender and captain has scored 2 in the game and makes it 3 for Swansea. Come on, he says to the crowd. Now we really need your support to see us home. Long ball in from the right, fooled them, and they really haven't defended all that well, Panathinaikos. Rayner plays it in, and Melville is in there to pounce once again, and Swansea have a 3-1 lead. Well, what an inspiring night for the 20-year-old captain, Andrew Melville. Partizan challenging in.